I'm just following the sun. I'm just following the sun.
Hiya. Right, I'm on mission 2 and I'm calling it Holy Moly.
Get up and join me.
Because how it all came together, and my first impression when I got here was holy moly. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for this project. It's going to be a longer one, I think. And it's a lovely, lovely, lovely house, homestead, townish kind of garden. And I think I'm going to be able to prove that it's possible for every Romanian and everyone in the Slavic area to be free and self-sufficient with their own gardens. Anna, who lives here, she's already deep into it. She's got food forests planted like here and there and everywhere. She's got animals and chickens. But yeah, so I'm gonna. It's my first day at work, and first thing I'm gonna do is what I did at Emma's with Emma was mulch all trees, because that definitely makes sense. And her food forest is pretty bare, and plus the floor I know is already clay, so it's a clay floor again. So yeah, mulching the trees is going to be the first mission, while cleaning up and taking things back and forth with the wheelbarrow. Yeah, that's how I'm going to start for sure.
I'm just following the sun.
So yeah, here I've got 2 compost piles, which is very strawy, sticky, twiggy, long grass kind of thing. So I'm taking the top part off, which I'm going to be using for the mulch for the trees. Later on I'm going to be cutting all this and using that, because there's plenty. She's planted so many trees already. It's really beautiful. But yes, I'm going to take the top off, and then I'm going to remix and create new composts. And the earth that's already decomposed at the bottom, I'm going to put on the high beds. Yeah, I'm going to start bit by bit, gradually sorting it out, and because like they've got the high beds there and there. So as I reorganize and organize, I'm just going to be using it and back and forth. And like when I have the end at the front of the house, there's straw, a pile of straw, so I'm bringing that back. And then when I start making a new compost, I'll be cleaning out the chickens, and yeah, just combining it like a jigsaw puzzle, bit by bit. And yeah, the idea, I think the challenge will be 150 days to turn the whole project into a perfect example of what you could do with little to no money.
Sun. I'm just following the sun. Get up and join me. I'm just following the sun. I'm just following the sun. Get up and join me. Follow the sun.
Because it doesn't really matter what you mulch it with, as long as you mulch it. Because like I said, Emma at the AIP homestead at Emma's farm, the benefits of mulching around the trees is not just the feeding, it's also the keeping them protected, the roots protected from frost and late frost and early frost, and feeding them and happy habitat. And it also keeps water in there longer. It takes away the fight for with competition with other trunks and trees. But yeah, wonderful. The small leaf piles that are lying around are also very good mulch, so I'll be cleaning up these now that I've got most of the compost, the stuff. Yeah, so as I clean up, I'm creating mulch. I'm finding out the rubbish and sorting out things and mulching trees. It's all just piece for piece, jigsaw puzzling, putting it together, and in the end we'll have one big picture. When starting a new puzzle, you got to organise things first. You got to sort out what's the sides and where's the corners. You sort your corners out, and you start finding the sides, the edges. You always start at the edge, a bit like permaculture, because that's where you get really productive really quickly at the edge. And while you're sorting it out, ones that you've touched and don't need anymore, you can put straight over to the next one, and so forth and so forth. So day 2 of working, I've already got the back compost has disappeared, all the sticks, so the wood's there, because this compost has got to be moved. The new compost will be near the house, so there's also more space for the chickens. This compost is nearly finished. The sun's going up. What I'm doing is, like I said yesterday, I'm filling the high beds. High beds are really important in gardens like this because the floor is very clayey. So you want to build up soil. Yeah, you want to build up, and your high beds you want to fill every year. And then you don't need any fertilizers or anything because you're bringing in fresh compost, which will also fertilize the ground below, and it will also reach into the ground even further below, which will improve, this will also feed those trees around it. Yeah, these trees are nice around the high beds because they'll give shade. Maybe a little bit not so convenient that it's a nut tree, because nut trees do have poison, but the shade is also good. But yeah, you can always, I mean, for now it will work. It'll still grow stuff. And yeah, same here, because you see things are growing. I think this is this is a salbei, a sage, and there's timian, so it's growing. And yeah, and then when you refill your high beds, you can just, all this, you can just leave in there and you fill it, because this compost is still very active. So it'll help decompose this. And because I'm doing it in winter and I'm going to mulch the top as well, there's still enough dampness. It's still very wet. So all this is going to compose, and then you've got even more nutrition. Plus, all this growth that's in here has taken the nutrition out of the ground that was already here. So if I leave it here, it gives the nutrition right back. Get what I mean? It's a circle of life, circle of nutrition. And plus, you want to be making as much compost as possible, because that's what we need. We need more earth. We need more growing places. Yeah. So when I finish this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out the chickens. And this might be the last thing I do. I'm not quite sure, because by the way it looks, I'll be leaving this project again soon. Just because we can't agree ethically, and I only do what I can do. I'm not here to persuade you, but if you don't respect me and don't listen to me, then I have to go. But anyway, yeah, because I'm about the chickens, I'm definitely going to finish out this chicken stall first. It needs cleaning out. It needs new straw. This straw that I'm going to clean out, I'm going to use to mulch the beds, the high beds that I've got, so they're mulched. That's even more fertilization. Plus, what's left over, if there is anything left over, will become the new compost starter. Yeah, what is left to say? Yeah, the new compost beds will not be long ones like this. Let me go over and show you while I'm talking. This is a lovely project to match. She's really got the base. The thing is, she's not listening. She's not listening. She's telling me what to do. Being me a professional as I am, I respect what she wants, and I would create what she wants, but I'm not going to do it the way she wants it, especially if it's not ethical. 1, not ethical. 2, doesn't work. 3, doesn't make sense. So yeah, I've got to listen to it. Plus also, and if you're just constantly stoned the whole day and you're constantly seeing problems, I come with solutions and you tell me everything I say is a problem, then it's just not going to work. But yeah, I'm not here to judge. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and God's given a timeline and ultimatum, so it's until tomorrow. So if I leave tomorrow, I leave tomorrow. That's the way it is. So anyway, back to this. I've set up. I know she wants the compost here, near to the house, so it's easier. Well, I've set up one to show her how it's going to look when she's up, because she's not slept all night, she's been awake. But so I can add the second one, so you can just turn from this one to this one very easily. It's tied together. Let me show you. This is the easiest stand still compost that you can make. Yeah, just a couple of pallets. Yeah, so you can fill your compost here. I tie it together. I don't screw it because if I want to make life easier, I have one at the back so I'm not going against the wall. So I've got a clear border. Borders are very important, right? So if I want to clear it out, if I just have to one box when it's ready and decomposed, I can just untie or cut the ropes at the side and then just move the pallets away, and then I get full access to the wood. Plus, because I've got the pallet at the back, it's not going against the wall, it's not going against the metal, so there's no rusting problems there. There's still air circulation around the back, which is also important because compost needs air. So as you see at the back, you've got air circulation. So that's why. And you could even put one at the front if you wanted to keep it very clean. Just tie one to the front, which lots of people do, so it's not dropping out as well. Then what you could also do, if you want to do a flip every now and then to increase the speed of your compost production, you build exactly the same here, which only needs 2 more because you've got this one in the middle. You don't need to do another one. And then you can just dig and flip very easily, and dig and flip back as you like. But if you're going to do the 18-day flipping, then you don't need any of this. You just need open space. You could do it here, there, anywhere. Yeah. The best thing was, though, if you want a lot of compost, check out the chicken tractor on steroids from Jeff Lawton. Brilliant design. And that is definitely the best way to make a lot of compost. And plus, get chickens and get food, because it's all about, our goal should be making soil and making food, because food is going to be something that we're going to need very soon, a lot more. You don't believe me? Oh, then don't get your food prepared. But yeah, preparing, that's part of my big mission, where being everywhere, is helping people prepare to make food. Because it's about the food. So you want animals. You want as many animals as you can. You can carry, but you got to be able to take care of the animals. So the animals are just as much human, as much life as you are. So, but you want the animals because your animals are going to help you make soil, and making soil will help you get vegetables. It's a whole circle. Even if you don't eat the animals, if you're vegan, it's still going to help you. Yeah, it helps you. Animals help. Your mental, everything, it helps everything, and it helps the world. So you need animals like we need children to grow. So food production has helped with animals, and so we need them. And that's the truth. I don't need proof, it's the truth. By the way, this is the best time of year to be doing this kind of work. Yeah, getting out in the garden in the fresh air, and it's kind of when it's cold and wet and damp, is the best time, because you're digging up compost. Yeah, you're turning it up, so you're giving it enough air to it. You're putting it on your new beds, and you're creating new compost, which means still has a month, 2-3 months to carry on decomposing, because the compost aren't going to be completely decomposed. So it's got time to settle and start building up life again, because we're turning it over now. So we're also killing the life that's in it in some sense. So it gets a chance to reactivate itself. Plus, with mulching it, and it gets a chance to build up the dampness and everything. And plus, because it's so cold, this is not too hard to do the digging, because it's hard. This is hard and heavy work. You get dirty, and it's lifted a lot of shoveling, and it's hard work. So you stay warm. It warms you up, and you don't overheat because it's nice and cool. See what I mean? It's the best time of year to do this. It is really the best time of year to do this, because it gives the beds time. It's the right weather. The weather's perfect for decomposition, especially in this kind of climate. And it's the best time of year to do it. Definitely more than that. Because it's getting your beds. And then in spring, when you start planting your beds, you don't have to do this as well. And your beds are ready, like proper, ready to really go. And they're really, 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 really ready. So yeah, no better time than now. January is the perfect month for all this. It's also a very good time to cut your willow. So if anyone's at my old farm, now's the time to go cut the willow to plant it. But anyway, January is a perfect month to work. It's not a month to have rest. It's a month to work and get ready. And if the weather is too cold and it is too snowy and you can't work, well then work inside. This is the time when you learn, you do your research, you do your homepage, you answer all the emails that you've not answered. Or you learn, watch YouTube, watch these videos. You spend your time learning, progressing, so that when you do get back out in the garden, you've got new inputs, you've got more energy. So much to do, so much to do. There's no time to chill. Yeah, anyway. And like they say in Switzerland, or I used to say in Switzerland, there's no bad weather, there's just bad clothes. Yeah. And your chickens are going to love the fact that you've got dug your compost, because they're going to find loads and loads of really good stuff in your compost. So they're going to really love it. And once you realise, they're going to do a load of extra work, and they're going to get a load of protein and vitamins and everything good that they need. And then what's left over, they'll spread around and clean up. Honestly, this is the best thing you can do in January, because even in January, the chickens need, if you want eggs in January, then they're going to need extra energy to be able to lay the eggs, because it's cold, so they need most of their energy to stay warm. That's just the way it is. But give them something like this to eat and do and clean, or they're going to lay you some good eggs, if they're laying eggs. Because that's like Charlie McGee likes to say, you are what you eat, and you eat what you you are what you eat. So if you're eating your chickens and you're eating your eggs, and they're eating the best compost ever, then you're eating the best eggs ever. It's logical. Yeah, see? So look how they're doing it. Scratch, pick. Where's it? Find the good stuff.
I'm just following the sun. I'm just following the sun. Get up and join me.
And as it's divinely possible, the compost was just enough, perfect enough, to fill 4 beds. The 4 beds that were here are now all full with fresh compost, fresh earth, so they're ready. It just need mulching. Right, one last thing I'm going to do is, the compost is full of twigs and sticks, which is good, because you want your compost to be as biodiverse as possible, have as many ingredients as possible, and what's left once lives twice, 3 times, every time again, once it's recycled, reused and repurposed. But wood like this is very slow in decomposing, but it also gives air in the compost and keeps it from becoming clay and blocking up and becoming one big clump. So you want sticks like this in your compost. So what I'm going to do now is to start off the new compost where I showed you before. I'm going to collect all these sticks, fill the wheelbarrow with all the sticks and wood that I've taken out of the compost, and then I'm going to put it at the base of the new compost, so that I've got like an air base from the bottom, and so it can start progressing. And plus, because it's slow, it'll decompose, and it'll definitely help compost in the future. Plus, this compost, these sticks and wood, is already inoculated with all the bacteria and all the fungi from the compost, so it's also a good starter. And then when I'm finished making the compost, which means I'm cleaned out the chicken stall, mulched the beds, like I said, which you'll see it all as I go along, and I've got the new compost started, I will also take one last wheelbarrow from this area, just from the top, and cover the new compost with it, so I can inoculate it more to really get it going as a starter. Yeah? Right, that's what I'm doing. But first, once I've got the wood, another reason why I'm doing the wood now, filling my wheelbarrow, because like you saw, the compost is near the house. Now that I've finished this one job, I'm going to take the sticks, put them in the compost, and then I'm going to have a break. Because don't forget your breaks in between. Have because that's nothing wrong with having a break. It's actually really important. A lot of sleep, a lot of food, a lot of break, and a lot of drinks. Important things to keep you going and give you the energy you need. Yeah, that's very important. Enough sleep, enough breaks, enough rest is so important.
I'm just following the sun. I'm just following the sun. Get up and join me. Follow the sun.
So yeah, the base of the compost is already ready. And like charcoal like this lying around, I can just add on it. And it's, when you're making your pollen compost, you want to mix up the ingredients and do it layer wise, but you want to get, again, as much in there as possible. So what I'm going to do now is, before I go to coffee, because this morning I got it ready, the kitchen compost. Yeah, there's kitchen compost. I can just dump in there now. I brought it out before I started work, knowing that I wouldn't be able to tip it yet. But now that I'm ready, I can tip it into this wood. And then it'll mix up already. It'll go between the cracks. There's a good thing about this wood, it's full of cracks. Wow. It smells. I do advise to regularly clean out your kitchen compost so the kitchen doesn't start smelling, because compost decomposition can smell. But yeah, let me show you. See, and it's already started mixing. And the compost is already active because the wood's already active. It's already inoculated, like I said. So now's a good time for me to go have some coffee. So cleaning out the chickens, or you cleaning out your animals per se, is something you should be doing once a week, in my opinion. Well, not because, why? Okay, why? Because one, you're producing, because like all this now, it's full of shit. Yeah, it's full of nitrogen. Bonnie, that's the chicken's food. It's full of nitrogen, it's full of shit, it's full of feathers. It's perfect compost material. You've got to be producing lots and lots of compost. Yeah, because that's building up soil. Second is the hygiene of the animals, because the animals, they can't clean out themselves. And you call pigs dirty, but chickens, I mean, and then in this, the mites, which are flea kind of, the chicken mites, which can actually kill chickens, can breed better. I mean, wood is not optimal for animals, but it's one of those things. You got what you got, right? So it's also important to clean out more regularly, so that you're not breeding. Because if you're sitting in your own shit, then you're not going to be healthy. That's just a fact of life. Same for us. We flush the toilet every time we go to the toilet. So you're taking out the material. Now this material, like I said, first thing I'm going to do is mulch the beds. And I'll tell you in a minute, when I've started doing it or when I've done it, why. Alright, so I'm mulching with the chicken straw, yeah? Which is the chicken bed. So it's the second time I'm using this straw. So we've had to buy this, is what the person who lives here had to buy this straw. So you want to use it as many times as possible. Right, that's not the reason to mulch up, but it's an advantage of mulching, because you're using it twice. Now, why am I mulching? Because I don't want the soil to be bare. Because if it starts, the sun shines, then the heat goes on it, it evaporates quicker when it's bare, it dries out, the whole nutrition just evaporates. Yeah, the birds, well, that's not even a problem. Right, so mulch. The mulch stops the evaporation if the sun shines on it. It keeps it cooler as well, so there's less evaporation. It also decomposes with time, and so it feeds the soil. Now, that's why people do deep mulch, like really, really deep. But because they've filled up the beds with compost, it doesn't necessarily need feeding. So I'm not doing it for feeding. I'm just doing it for keeping it real, protected. And yeah, and also, yeah, it is a bit, and it also looks nice, doesn't it? It brings a bit of colour into your garden. Yeah, and now the chickens, obviously, they're going to clean it up. That's why you want to do enough. And how much is enough? Well, for me, in my opinion, I put a handful per time and then spread it out, because I just don't want to see the earth. I don't want to cover the earth, so I don't see black. I see nice and colourful. So yeah, you can see here, It's like, yeah, the chickens can scratch through, like I'm scratching through, and you still don't see it. So that's definitely enough, more enough. And now the bed is also full, you see? So, and it looks nice compared to that. You'll see the difference. So yes, that's a couple of reasons to mulch, and as I'm sure scientifically seen, there's a lot more. Ooh, I forgot one other good reason to mulch. When growing season just does start, when it starts getting warmer, then unwanted seeds find it harder to grow as well, because there's not as much sunlight growing on the soil, because it's most of the time it's sunlight and warmth that get the seeds started and growing. So yeah, mulching it also reduces unwanted growth. One thing I want to really compliment about these high beds, because they've been built themselves, which is really good, yeah, and they used old material, I'm sure, because you can see the wood's been used before. It's brilliant, perfect. And what I really want to compliment is the spacing. Right? It's not taking up too much space. You can fit a wheelbarrow perfectly in between, which is just right, perfect. You don't need too much space. So you can stand in the middle, you can work in both beds without moving, you just turn around. But the best thing is you can fit a wheelbarrow between it, which means for harvesting, you can use for bringing in the mulch and bringing in the compost. It's just perfect. It's just absolutely perfect. Perfect spaced high beds. And yet, can you see the difference of how beautiful it is? They're colourful, yeah. And the chickens tend to go where there's no mulch. So I'm not sure I'm going to have enough mulch for all beds, but that doesn't matter, because like I said, if you clean out the chickens once a week, then you got more than enough. But what was very important today is that I have one wheelbarrow full for the new compost, because the new compost needs shit in it to really get going, because shit and is nitrogen, that's what really gets the compost activated and really going. And especially if you want a warm compost, you need a lot of shit and pissy and whatever. So yeah, chicken nitrogen is great nitrogen. So the main reason why, or the only reason really, why this mission will be cut short, still she's got until tomorrow, is because the woman and the girl who lives here, she is so controlled and how do you say it? She's so dominated by her inner demons that now, and she's so full of lies and twiddles and turning it around, and it's always about all right. She's great. She's willing. She's a powerful woman, but she's so. Some people call it depressions. I just call it she's dominated by her demons. Anyway. The compost that I've put here is now all of a sudden in the wrong place. Otherwise, and she's telling me that I don't listen. All right, anyway, so the truth is I'm going to move it now, because I put it here and it's going to be over there. And like I say, I don't care. Because I care so much, I don't care. And it's so important that she has a good compost and a good system. And God wouldn't have brought me here, and we wouldn't be giving her until tomorrow if it wasn't important, because she could be anointed. She should be so important for our world. She is so powerful. She could change the world, but she's so dominated. So anyway, I don't care, but I do know it's important to have a good compost. So I'm going to move it. I'm just going to do it, because I'm here for 2 days anyway, and I don't need to sit around getting stoned or drunk. That's her, at the moment, the main thing she does all day is just get stoned, and even more stoned, because she can't handle reality without getting stoned. So yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, because she's got so much potential, but sometimes people with potential just keep themselves small. But anyway, I'm also using this in the best alchemy way that I know, and I'm going to be also released. It will be released by the time this video is released. 10 things that you know your demons are in control, and 10 things you can do against it. So if you've not seen that video yet, go check it out. It's on this YouTube channel as well. And while you're at it, give us a like, give us a comment or a subscription if you're not already subscribed. And I don't know, have you seen my GoFundMe? Because yeah, it's not about the money. really not about the money. But when I do get to Africa and to projects that have no money, not like this woman here, she's got a lot of money. Well, she's got enough money to get stoned all day, and she's apparently it's 50 grams a week, 50 grams of weed a week. I don't know how much that's worth in Romania, but in Switzerland it's definitely a shitload of money. And she's got money to build whatever, because she wants to build it all with cement, and she wants to do it with this and with that anyway. So if anybody does have a future work with her, do charge her the right price, please. Don't give her any discounts, because like I say, the devil's in charge here. But anyway, so yeah, back to topic. Let me move this compost. And the funniest thing is, I've been here 3 days now, working 2 of them. Yeah, and the first day she did talk me through about what she wants, but yesterday she saw me doing this and everything, and she saw me filling it up and everything, all that. I mean, we even had a discussion that filling it up with compost is bad for the bullshit anyway, because we know we're all better anyway, don't they? But now she does tell me now that it's finished. She said, well, you shouldn't have finished it, because here it's got to all be cleaned up. I said, well, then that you can do yourself. And but the amount of weed she smokes, and the state of depression that she's letting her be self in, because it's all about self-control, is not going to be moved. So in spring she's going to be happy that she's at least got some beds to grow in. And if they do move it, fair enough. All this earth is still very usable. It's just like storage, so you can just open it, move it, and no problem. A little bit extra work, but no problem. It's building up soil, so I can leave it with a good conscience. What I can't do is leave the chicken stall without it being done, because it, again, it's about the animals, because they can't help themselves. So easy peasy, the compost is gone. And if anyone wants to complain that it's a little bit of food waste lying on the floor, then I'll say, you really? With all this lying around as well? Anyway, so all good. Clean as if it was never there. Because I care, I don't care. But because I also care about myself, I will not be finishing the high beds. Yeah, the important things I'll be doing, and the rest, yeah, it's such a shame. It's such a shame. Oh, anyway, but that's what's wrong with our world. Yeah, the devil's in charge, and people are accepting it. I mean, she's very religious. She's very religious, but yeah, the demon's in charge. But most religions, the demons are in charge. Just did the last video in English, in German, although this is an English video sometimes, yeah. Right, so the big advantage of me not doing the high beds now, finish the mulching of the high beds, it's not out of pettiness, it's just because apparently it's going to move, so I don't want to waste my work, Sisyphus, now that I know. But it's a big advantage for the compost, because now it's got 2 levels of straw. The bottom straw, then I've got the twigs, because I had to empty the wheelbarrow to move it. Now it's got straw on top, and now last I'm going to put from the old compost pile. See, this is from the rounder sides where it's still got a lot of other stuff in it. It's not quite decomposed, but it's active compost. So I'm going to chuck that over. And then, because it's important that compost is nice and damp, which isn't a problem in this climate, but there's also a bucket full of water and leaves. So I'm going to just pour that over it, so this straw definitely gets wetter. And then it's finished. And then all I've got to do is finish putting in, setting up the chicken and duck stall new with fresh bedding. And then I've done everything. I've been told I've done everything that's important for me to do. Looked after the animals. I've fulfilled my word. Finished what I started. Improved the soil. So I've done God's work. But God's telling me to stay put, even if it's until tomorrow, because she's been told the truth. She's got the ultimatum, and it's now her decision who she wants to lead. If she wants her demons to lead, or if she wants to give her life to God, as she actually believes in her religion. But yeah, from there. So until tomorrow, I'm stuck. I'm not stuck. I'm staying put. I'm not, because I could go if I want, but I follow God, and God's saying. So I'm here till tomorrow. We'll see what happens, but I'm definitely getting the videos. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to tell you more about my demons, because I have demons as well. We all have demons. It's not about not having demons. It's about who's in charge. But that's more about that in the other video, right? So go have it once this video's finished. It could be really nearly finished. I don't know yet. We'll see. But if it is finished, go check out the other one. So, okie dokie, the compost is finished. Chew, fucking chew. We do what we do. And yeah, it's not just a little bit of compost on top. It is a full wheelbarrow full. But I've already mixed it up. You can see some more sticks laying on the top now. So I've mixed it up a little bit. There's worms in there already from the last compost. So yeah, it's ready to go and it's already started. You know what I mean? So that's it. Easy peasy. Making compost is one of the easiest things in the world. And if you got shit in it, then you're turning shit into gold really, really quick. Perfect. That's what we do. Chew, fucking chew. We do what we do. And simple things like this is doing God's work. Permaculture and alchemy. Turning shit into gold. Right. So that's it. That's it. Chickens are done. What I've done is the straw. I've just spread out straw. Fresh straw. Besides this area, this is roughly about 1 bale of straw, which, yeah, more than 1 bale, unless he's got a really big place, but 1 bale of straw, even if you're doing chicken tractor on steroids or whatever kind of version you're doing it. You've got your laying boxes, which need straw in it enough so it's nice and comfortable for the chickens to lay their eggs. The ducks tend to sleep in them. You need a perch so the chickens can get up higher because they like to sleep up high. And make sure you've got enough straw behind it because that's where they're going to shit the most while sleeping. Because otherwise, when they're not in here, they're out there shitting. So, yeah. And again, enough egg boxes so that they can all lay at the same time if necessary. Because if they're healthy and free range like this and have enough energy and enough compost to eat and everything, then they'll even lay in winter, some breeds. So yeah, and if you do that once a week, you've got plenty of compost. Right, so whatever happens from now on, I can say with a clear good conscience, I've done my work, I've done God's work, I've created compost, I've cleaned out the animals because the animals can't look after themselves. So I've done my job and we'll see what happens anymore. And if this is the end of the video, this is the end of the video. And I say thank you for watching, for liking, subscribing, commenting if you want, but like I say, I'm going to hold back on the comments because yeah, the devil does attack me. They're starting to stop because he knows it's no good. But yeah, there's another impression of what I can do. Thank God for bringing me to mission 2. And yeah, and I thank you, Lord, for protecting me, for guiding me, for letting me see through your eyes, hear through your ears, talk with your tongue, even if not everybody likes what you've got to say, and feel with your heart, because that helps me from the start to understand who you are and what help you need. And like I say, I've got my boundaries as well, and so does God. And just because you're a really religious person doesn't mean you're living with God. Anyway, hey, if you need my help, then get in touch, ask, because I can only help people who ask. And yeah, if you like what I'm doing, but you don't need help, but you want to support me, down in the subscription, there's all my social medias. Go like, go follow. And there's also GoFundMe link there, because that GoFundMe link helps me get on further as well. Thank you for all donations so far. If I get to it also helps me, and that's the most important thing. It helps me help projects that need help, that ask me, but have no money to pay me. That way you're paying forward. Like there's a lot of African projects and also it needs boots on the ground. But obviously refugees can't pay me. So, but the refugees need the most help because we need food. And that's what it's all about, creating food. So if you like what I do and you're also part of God's army and you have enough money to help me, to help them, then use the GoFundMe link. Thank you very much. Because yeah, the idea is once I get there, I will also want to buy animals for these people. I want to implement chickens. I want to help them make, because now you see here, I want to help them make compost. If they've not got animals, then the compost is going to be slow. And in hot countries, decomposing is also very slow anyway. So we need more shit. Human or it's a solar, it needs to take slow as well. So we need animals, and animals also give us food and so on and so forth. So the money will not just be used for Bonnie and I, for traveling and eating and getting there. It will also be used for, I'll be using it where it's needed, and I can assess. And for all good foundations like the ones in America, and everyone who's doing fundraising for all these projects, if you need eyes and you need boots on the ground, you can also send me there. That's something I do offer. And I'm also, yes, I'm in TED. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to be there soon. So yeah, if you're not already like, follow, subscribe, and all the other links, you're helping. Because yeah, as soon as I start earning money off Facebook and Instagram as well, as an influencer, then again, I can make more impact. And that's all I'm doing, is trying to make as much impact as possible before the devil wins, because we're in the holy war. And that's my chore, to be God's personal jester, telling the truth, even if they don't like it. And you know what? The truth don't need no proof, because it shows itself. Right, guys, thank you for being you. And you do know, if you give your best every day, you're perfect just the way you are, and you're making the world a better place. Thank you very much.
I'm just following the sun. I'm just following the sun. Get up and join me. I'm just following the sun. I'm just following the sun.